Let's double check here that we are live, and can you hear me? Let me see if I can just pull up this. Just getting started on this stuff, so bear with me for a minute here. Make sure everybody can. Last time we had some technical issues, so this time I want to make sure we don't. So I'm going to check the chat as well. Let's see. Okay, still checking that chat. Here we go. Okay, all right. I think we are here. So let's see. I'm going to check in the chat. Can you hear me? I'm not going to do anything until I've got some of the technical stuff figured out. Okay, all right. I think we are here. So let's see. I'm going to check in the chat. Can you hear me? I'm not going to do anything until I've got some of the technical stuff figured out. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm going to keep an eye on the chat so that I can tell. But I'm also I've got the phone up here, and I think I am going to. Awesome. Okay. Thank you, Pascal. I appreciate that. That's good to know. Okay. All right. So let's get into what we're going to do today. I have, let me share my screen here. So I'm going to keep an eye on the chat so you can just let me know if you come across any issues here. Okay. But we have this, right now it's just showing this Laravel 12 page, but I'm starting from scratch here. So the goal today, and let me go into my code here so that we can just kind of have a Laravel project. And I've started it, but so this is what you're seeing right now with this. This is just like the default empty Laravel. But what we're going to do, I'm just going to clear that all out and just start with a fresh HTML here. Okay. Okay, so Whisper plus HTMX. So the goal is to create a podcast snippet tool here. So let me see here. So I'm just going to I think put this directly into here so that as we go, podcast snippets. Okay, so let's go verify that what we're doing is working. Okay, so we have our podcast snippets page here. Okay, so what I've already done is connect to, I've already connected to Whisper AI. So this is just like setting up my API, OpenAI API code, stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff I don't think, that I don't want to fiddle with that too much. So I got that set up ahead of time. And what I've done is create a script. So I'll start making a list here. I'll make an ordered list and then check off the stuff that we've already done. Okay, so connect to Whisper. So what is Whisper AI? Whisper AI is part of the OpenAI package, but it's for transcription and translation. So this is, I'll add a little note here. Transcription and translation. Okay. So that part's done. And why? Why are we doing this? So maybe I'll put that up here. Okay. The goal is to take a long MP3, maybe an hour, and split it into parts by topic. Okay, so we want to do this for a few reasons. And this is a personal project, as I may have mentioned. So we want to do this because, first of all, editing sucks, right? So I have a couple podcasts actually, but one of them is this HX Pod, hypermedia stuff. I don't do a lot of editing for that, and that's kind of the way that I like to keep it. But I have another one with some friends, and I have to edit for that, and that's no fun. So let's put this back over here. So editing sucks. And let's go back and see what this. So editing sucks. I want to make shorter episodes. So right now they're about an hour. So a 2-hour recording can become, let's say like 7 episodes. Okay. So we just kind of we want to break them up by topic. So let's see what we're doing here. Okay. Goal is to take a long MP3. We want to do this for a few reasons. Editing sucks. Let's make this a little bigger. I want to make shorter episodes, take a 2-hour recording, put it into like 7 episodes. So far I've connected to this. Let me grab a little check mark emoji to show what we've done here. Copy it. Okay, this one is done. This first one connected. Let's see if that shows up here. Okay, good. Okay, so we've connected to Whisper. Now let me take a look at what's already been done here. So we have a Laravel project with all that's in it so far. The only thing I've done is I've created this snippets table. So a snippets table is basically going to store all of our records of our audio. So the goal here is to take our audio, which is, long form conversation. Step 1 is going to be breaking that down into word by word with timestamps for each word. And that's where Whisper comes in. So what I've done so far is, you can see what the snippet's going to look like. It's got a file. So this is your MP3 file. It's got a parent, so I'll say why in a little bit. But the snippets are going to be related to each other. You're going to have one big snippet, but then you split it up into 7 parts. Each of those little things is also a snippet, but they're going to have a parent of the bigger one, and so on and so forth, kind of a recursive tree of snippets. Okay, so we have long text. So this is going to be the actual text of the snippet, so the full transcript, and then timestamp text. So this is what we get from the Whisper AI, and it goes by the individual timestamps as you go, so that you can see where each word is, so that when you're creating your snippet later, you can have these 2 different representations. You have, AI can divide it up by topic, but it's also going to be matched to the timestamp so that you can then start, okay, here's this topic between this time and this time. So that's the goal. And then we're going to have an array of sections, so that if you take a snippet and then you want to split up into sections, we keep that data in there as well, inside the snippet object. So I have a snippet object. This is very simple. It just in Laravel, it lets you, cast these to an array. So these are going to be arrays. Because the timestamp text comes back from Whisper AI, in a JSON array. So we can, transfer that over. Okay, so the part that I have done already is this here, transcribe audio. So this is how you use the Whisper AI. And you can see here, I'm just going to go through it quickly. We've got our file path. So this is a command. So this runs, and let me go to my command here. So I'm in the Whisper, so PHP artisan, and what did I call it? Audio transcribe. audio transcribe. And then you give it the name of the file. So what did I call this one? I may have to do a quick check here in my files. App, private, audio. Okay, hypermedia wars.m4a. .m4a. Okay, transcribing audio with timestamps. So what this is going to do, it's going to go through that file and, take every single, so here's what it's going to do. Actually, I can just show you the code here. Okay, so first of all, it finds the file, makes sure it's there, transcribing audio with timestamps. Now, it's going to go through, and I have the OpenAI, so I'm plugged into the OpenAI. I got my secret key. That's separate. I set the timeout here to 120 seconds, just to make sure it's a little bit longer for this HTTP request. As multi-part. So this is because we're sending a file. So if you're sending a file to OpenAI, and it tells you right here what the URL is here, but we're using this HTTP, we're sending it as a post, but the multi-part, we've got this here, this fopen contents. So because we're doing that, we need to do this multi-part. So we send the file. This is the audio file. This is the MP3. And we're using the model Whisper1, which is the transcription and translation. And we want the response format to be verbose JSON. So this is just, it's going to come back to us with a lot more information. And we want the timestamp granularity. So this is what gives it contents as words. So by default, it's going to do timestamped, but it's going to do it like, I don't know, every couple seconds or every, a couple sentences or something like that. Instead, I want to do it by the word itself. So in this case, every single word should have a timestamp. So I just ran it, and now you can see what the response is here. So what did I echo out here? Words equals response JSON words, and then over here, I've echoed out the start, end, and the word. So you can see this is a long, this is like just 5 minutes recording or something like that. You can see the timestamps here, but every single word here is timestamped. So it can be, brought in, and if it's broken apart, we'll be able to start that snippet on any word that we want to. That's the goal anyway. So, and I haven't figured all this out yet. So that's why I'm going to try to sort of work this through now. So what I've done here is just save that snippet into our database. And maybe I should open up the database here. Maybe I won't need to do that quite yet. So I will, instead of opening up the database, let's just show what we have so far. So in our welcome. So down here, I'm just going to set up a little, we're not going to use any controllers, anything like that. I'm just going to set up some straight, PHP right in the thing here. Okay, so we'll say snippets equals app models snippet. This is where Laravel, keeps this. This is the namespace here. We can see it over here. App models snippet. That's what we're going for. And let me, if I could have my mouse pose work here. I always like mouse pose. Oh yeah, there we go. Got a little pointing here. Oop. I'm back. Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you for letting me know. I actually really appreciate that. Last time I didn't know the chat was there, and it was driving me crazy afterwards. Like, okay, didn't even realize this was not happening. But okay, let me put up the phone number too, because if you are watching this and you have some suggestions or a question or just want to chat, I want to be able to take a phone call. I'd also like to just test the phone call system because, that's part of what I want to do with this is just have the phone call here. So let me put up my phone here. Let's see. It's just going to give me a second here. Just, working out OBS and whatnot. But there we go. Okay, phone should be in there now. Get rid of the starting soon. And we'll do Whisper AI again. I'm not doing a separate topic this time. Last time I was trying to talk other stuff. Now I think I just got to focus on the code because it's too distracting to talk about other stuff besides the code, I think. So if any brave soul wants to give that number a call, I would appreciate it, and that would be awesome. Okay, nice. Like the Jape, I got to pronounce your name right. Maybe you can call in and tell me how to pronounce it. But I got Jape, Jap. I don't know. Jape could be an H, could be Hape. It says I like this old school vibe to a phone and show. So yeah, I'm gonna try and make that happen. I like the old school phone and show too. Okay, but I got this snippets, and I'm just gonna do all for now, just to verify that we actually have this snippet here. Okay, so for each snippets as snippet. Okay, and I think we're just gonna work with one snippet here. Okay, and for each. And what do we want to do here with this? Let's just do snippet ID. I just want to verify that these are even working here. What I really should be doing is just doing a DD. Let's be real here. This is what needs to happen. Okay. So we're gonna do. There we go. Yape is the correct pronunciation with a Y. Thank you. I hate seeing people's names wrong. It bothers me, and I'm sure people don't like it either. So I appreciate being able to get the name correct. Okay, items. 2 items. I just did a DD. We've got 2 snippets in here. I'm using a SQLite database just for simplicity's sake here. Attributes. So we have this is our file. We have our full text, and we have our timestamp text. So word, start, end. Word, start, end. Okay, so this is good. We have, I think, what we need here, which is, we have the full text and we have the indexed words. Question is, so this is the full text with all the words indexed. Now, the question is how much hand-holding do we need to do for, to make the AI kind of work with this? Can I just send all this to the AI? And I think the only way we're going to know the answer to that is by trying it out, right? That's kind of usually how it works. Okay, so we have our snippet. Let's just get the first snippet here. So, and what do we want to do with this? I guess we'll just display the text. No, I don't think we want to display the text. Let me see here. Let's add Tailwind to this so that I can just make my life a little easier and make this easier to see what's going on here. Okay, we got our CDN. Where is our place CDN link here? This looks like it. Good. No easy thing here. I have not added HTMX to this yet, but I will do that soon as well. But first things first, we'll get our Tailwind in here. Okay, this man will do anything to not use Datastar. Hi, Delaney. Good to see you. Feel free to call in and tell me this should be a Datastar project and why. And I gotta say, anybody who calls in, you have to be aware, and I'll remind you this, that I am going to hang up on you at some point. That's part of this. That's part of the show. It's part of what I'm doing here, hanging up on you. Okay, so connect to Whisper AI. Okay, so now that I have Tailwind here, I can do let's just make sure this is working here. We'll do background gray, let's say 100. rounded large, and we'll do like a little bit of padding on it. Okay. And then in here, we'll do the snippet ID. Div class equals. Okay. All right. Okay. And let's see what we got here. Let's verify this is even doing anything here. I got rid of the DD. Oh, I did not get rid of the DD. So that's not going to do anything. No, that's not how you comment out in here. Don't need that. Okay. So 1, 2, let's give this some margin to. So these are our snippets from the database, from our thing here. So what do we want to do with these? We want to be able to split them up and also process them. So I think we're going to need a button here. And let's add a flex to this. And let's add the button at the end. Oops. Okay. What should we do for a button here? Let's do an actual button. We'll give it classes and stuff though. BG blue 400, text white. Okay, and this is going to be okay, split into snippets. Let's give this some padding. PX6, PY4. It's going to be a big button here. Let's do round it full. Okay, let's see what that looks like. All right. That shouldn't be taking so long. Okay, yeah, we got big buttons here. Something's not quite right here because I think I didn't end this div here. There we go. That should do it. Now these will at least be lined up nicely. Okay, so the buttons don't do anything yet. But what should they do? They should take this. So let's do an HX post here. And we want, oh yeah, I got to bring in HTMX here. So htmx.org. And we are going to copy this. Actually, you know what? Let me hype my my in the works project here, hypecp.com. Go here. This is the fastest way to copy HTMX. See, it's just right there. Click the copy button, and boom, you are in business. Okay, maybe move your webcam window to the left and scroll it a bit so the code is in the middle of the screen. Okay, some advice from the chat. Maybe move your webcam window to the left. Okay, let's see what happens. Boop. And you know what? I don't know if we need this like thing at the bottom here. Let me move that farther down. We'll just give ourselves a little more space. Okay. There we go. How's that? Maybe a little better. Okay. All right. So we have HTMX and we have Tailwind now. So what do we want to do? We want to send a new, when we click this, we want to send, so let's say snippets, and then we'll send the ID. And then, well, I guess we'll just call it split for now. Okay, so this is the snippet ID. Okay. And what do we want to do with that? Let's, whatever we get back, let's set the target to, we want to set it to this up here. So let's give this a real class. Actually, no, let's give it well, we'll give it a class too. And we're going to give it a class of, I would say snippet wrapper, but you know, let's just be extra confusing and call it snippet. That's my favorite. So we're going to give it the target of closest dot snippet. And thank you, Pascal. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's better to we don't really need this left side over here. Let's show the code as much as we can. Okay. All right. So we are going to be using hxpost. We're going to send it to this route where we're going to split that snippet. And then we're going to take whatever comes back and we're going to put it into the closest dot snippet, which is right here. So we're going to replace this. So now actually, because of what we've done all that, let's actually split this out and include it. Let's call it snippet dot. We just need snippet actually. So this is not a big project. We're not doing a big project here. So when I include this view here, so right now the only view I have, and I'll scroll over here, and I'll use this again to show what I'm showing here. Okay, so we have just this one view. It's just this welcome page, but we are going to add another view, new file. We're going to paste everything that we just made into this new file and save it, and we're going to call this one. So this is an individual snippet .blade.php. Okay. So I think, does that make sense so far? I don't know how many people have done too much HTMX. We haven't quite solidified what's happening here, but the goal is to replace this with whatever we get back from our post when we split this. Okay. So, and the swap is going to be outer. So I don't want to the default is inner HTML, which would mean that it would take this and it would put all of this inside here. And I do not want it to be inside. I want it to replace the entire thing. Okay. So that's what it's doing now, but we have not defined this route. This route doesn't do anything. And so we need to define this route. So we're going to do that. I'm in Laravel. So we have our routes folder. Let me close some of these folders so it's a little more clear what's going on here. Resources contains our views. So that's where we only have 2 views. It's a small project, 2 views. The command that we ran earlier to split the transcribe audio is in the command. So app console commands. Our models are in app models snippet. User just came with the install. I didn't get rid of it, but okay, but now we have our views, which is snippet and welcome. Now we need to add our route. So I'm going to go into routes and web. Right now we've only got one, but I'm going to say route post. And what did we do? Let's find out where we posted to. Slash snippets ID slash split. Snippets, and we're going to do ID slash split. Okay, so that's going to be our, now do we need a controller for this? I don't quite, yeah, I mean, maybe I'll add a controller for this. Probably should, I'll just make one. So, sometimes I don't use the controllers, especially for small projects like this, but I'm going to make one here. And the reason is because I think it actually makes sense in this case for it to be handled by a controller, because what happens is going to be very data centric. It's going to go make a call to the OpenAI API, get some stuff back, process it, and then show a little snippet. So the core of the logic is not in the view. It doesn't really make sense to be in the view. So I think we're good putting it in the controller. I think that's probably the correct spot for it. Okay, let's see here. And we are going to go to our app, go to our controller, HTTP, controllers, snippets. So we just defined a route that was, well, let's define where this is going to go. I think we need to bring our controllers in here. So use app, HTTP, controllers. This probably needs to be backsplash here. I'm used to the older way of doing this in in the old school Laravel. So this is a little bit new here. So I need to let me get the syntax right here. Okay, is that right? Snippets. That should be snippets. Okay. Now in here we can do snippets controller, and I think we can still do this. So you give the function, which I don't think I've defined yet. So let's call it split. That's kind of what we've been calling it, and we give it an ID. Let's just DD on that ID and just make sure that our world makes sense here. Okay, does that work? Does that work? I kind of think it does not work. I don't think that's the right syntax for this. I might open up some OpenAI. I might open up some ChatGPT here to help me with some of the syntax, just to speed things up here, because there's been some changes to this. Okay, but let's see what happens. Let's just make sure that's not working, because I kind of assume it's not, but no, undefined constant. Okay, so we can't do this. Let's see. I'm going to go and in here, Laravel routes. Okay, let's just find a basic example here. Routing. Okay, we need one that has a controller. Controller. Groups. Controllers. Okay. Now this is like even more confusing than it just used to be different. That's all. Okay, so I think we do like this syntax. I am going to open up ChatGPT soon if I can't remember how this works. And I think we call the function split. Let's try that. Okay, that looks like that worked. Okay, so, but let's see if it actually works. So we've defined a post. We need to send it to this ID and split it. So that should happen on the click. So we're going to open up our inspect tool here. And we're going to click this, and we need to see what happened on the network. We got an error. It's fine. Page expired. Okay, we're doing a post, and we have no CSRF. Okay, that's fine. So I think we can do, gosh, what was the best way to do this? You know what? The best way to do this for right now, let's make this a get. Is that the best way? I don't know. We're going to find out. Okay. So let's see here. Pending. Oh, I don't think it finished refreshing before I clicked it. Ah, this for some reason, Tailwind is taking a while. Okay. All right. So we're going to click it. Split. Method not allowed. Okay. We changed the method, but we didn't change it in here. So it's no longer a post. It's going to be a get. We'll save that. Click it again. Find out what our new error is. Okay. No new error. It says 2. Okay. That's good. That means we're in. We are into our snippets controller. Okay. And what we want to do is return, eventually, we are going to return our view snippet with our snippet object. So we'll just create that snippet object here. Snippet equals, let's use our app snippet up here. App models. Snippet right here. Okay, and this is snippets find, and we're going to pass the ID. Okay, so we have our snippet, and we're going to return our view, also called snippet, for maximum confusion. And we are going to compact. We're going to send this snippet object. Okay. So now what should happen is we go to split it, and all it does is give us our same thing back. It calls this our splitting, and it redraws it. So let's just verify that that's what happened when you click the button. I'm going to clear out the network tab here. Okay, so we're on the network. I'm looking down here. I'm going to click this. Now it worked. Status 200. Now if I click into this, it should show the response, which was all this HTML. It actually updated this. You just can't tell because it updated it with exactly the same thing. Okay, good. So that's all intentional. That's what we wanted right now. So now we need to actually take this snippet and send it to OpenAI, and that's going to be a little tricky. But we have the precedent. I've already used this OpenAI thing over here to get the timestamp granularities, and this should be easier, right? Because all we're not getting any special transcription stuff. The goal here is going to be to break it up by topic. So let's see what happens if we just do like the default here. Okay, so text equals. Now let's do text with timestamps. Equals snippet. I called it timestamp text or text timestamp. Okay, and let's do a DD on that. Okay, text with timestamps. You know what? Maybe we don't even need to do a DD on that. Yeah, we will. Okay. So let's refresh and let's click it. Okay, we got an error. And that's not an error. That's actually just a DD. Okay, so that was not the name of it. So let's take a look back at what I called it. Time-stamped text. That's what it is. Okay. Time-stamped text. So let's just verify that what we are getting here, okay, is this right here. So it's actually an array. Let me pull this up so you guys can see this here too. This is an array of every word along with it. So can ChatGPT or OpenAI handle this format? I don't know the answer to that. So I think what I'm going to do is first send the plain text and just make sure that I can even get that functioning. Okay, so let me see if I just do the plain text here. Let's do the text. How do we send this to OpenAI and get back an array of different parts? So here I'm going to copy this here. This is our previous. This is my previous. The thing that originally split it up. So HTTP with token. We're going to send this to here. So let's open this and take a look at our controller here. Okay. Now this is probably not the right place to do this. So let's find out what is the right place to do this. We're no longer sending a file. We're just sending text. Text equal, I'll do plain text. Plain text equals snippet text. So we're going to send the plain text, but to where? Okay, so now's it's time for some research. Or I can open up ChatGPT and let me do a quick open of this. Okay, so open sidebar. I do not want the sidebar because that has all my previous stuff in it. So how can I do this so that I don't, give away my private stuff? Let me do a quick check here. Okay, so how to send. Here, I'll type this back over here for now. Okay, how to send to OpenAI a string of text and get back the text split into parts. Okay, that's what I'm sending. And I'm just going to do it off screen here for a second to make sure that none of my OpenAI stuff is visible. Okay, good. Looks like it's not. That's good. All right. Use PHP, for example. This is what I did before. So I don't know. Am I vibe coding now? Does this count? This is what I do all the time. Just kind of use like, I mean, look at this. Like, does this work? I don't know yet. We're going to find out. Okay, so we've got our code snippet to work with. We're going to go back to here. Did it give everything? Yeah, so I've already, let me include up here. I need this for the top. We got our HTTP. And then I do need all this too. Okay, we get our response. I'm going to remove that there. Paste, tab. Okay, here we go. We've got our timeout, chat completions, model GPT-4. We'll see about that. Role, content. Okay, let's just see if this works. Like straight up, direct paste from our good friend ChatGPT. Tab that forward a little bit, and I'll just do like actually no, I won't even do a DD. Yeah, I will. Okay, so I'll do a DD on split text. Let's see what it does. Okay, I need to clear the network tab here a little bit, and I am going to click this. Pending 500 error. It was not really a 500 error, was it? This is the long text that needs to be split into smaller parts. So what did it do here? Split the following text. Okay, it totally did not understand what I was trying to do, but that's okay. I didn't really tell it to. I didn't give it clear instructions here. Okay, so return an array. Let's say a JSON array just for fun. Return a JSON array of the different topics in this text chronologically. Okay. Max tokens 200. I don't know what that is. I feel like this is maybe an older school way of doing this. I feel like there's like a better, like GPT-4. Is that the right one? Does anybody know? Is there a different model I should be using for that? Okay. I don't know. But let's try this out. So we're going to refresh, split it into snippets. It returned. Okay, in order to provide you with a proper response, can you please provide the text? Yes. Okay. So one thing we did not do is actually give it the text that it needs. So we'll need to do that. Messages, role, where does it go? Messages, role, user, content. Okay, and now I'll add like a doot. And here's the text. Dot plain text. Okay, let's see if it makes any more sense out of that. Refresh. Split it into snippets. Oh, it's taking a while to refresh, and this is all because of Tailwind. Why Tailwind? Why? I only needed you for a tiny little thing. Why are you slowing my site down? All right, I'm going to refresh again. And it's still pending. Okay. We'll see how long I keep Tailwind here. Because it's really messing stuff up. Okay. All right. I guess we don't really need Tailwind right now. Oh, there it is. Okay, whatever. Okay. Split into snippets. Let's see what it does. What did it do? Preview, response, or is it still working? Oh yeah, it was still working. Okay, so now it's crapped out. Topic. Introduction, professional background, Facebook's web page. Okay, this is good. Topic. So how many topics did it do? Interesting. 1, 2, 3. So now the timestamp, middle end. All right, so it doesn't know the times because I didn't send it the times. So it's trying to just kind of guess, end, middle end, etc. So we need to send it the times. So let's just try that. Let's just try what happens if we have our text with timestamps. So return a JSON array in text chronologically. Use the, now can I just send the array directly, or do I need to turn it into text? Let's ask ChatGPT that question. Okay, can I send the timestamped array directly, or do I need to send it as text? If you're working with timestamped arrays, you should send them as JSON arrays in the API request. Okay. That is useful. Okay, instructions, split the transcription. Okay, data. Here we go. So we have our data. We can do a data and send an array. This looks a little different though. Instruction. Is that in mine? No. Interesting. Okay, but let's add a data here. Oh, I see. The content is actually split into a JSON encode here. So let's see what we can do here. Let's take this and where is it? User content. Okay, so instead of this, split the transcript into parts. No, so this is, I need to change the instructions back again. We're getting pretty nested here. It's pretty annoying. Don't like all that nesting. Okay, so split the transcript into meaningful parts. Into meaningful parts by topic. Keeping characters, while keeping timestamps accurate. Okay, so now the data that I'm going to pass it is going to be not the timestamp text. Yeah, I guess it is. Okay. Because I think this is already an array. I don't think this is text here. All right, is that going to work? What do you think? Does anybody think that's going to work? I'm still hoping somebody will call in to test the phone. So just as a test, you don't have to say anything. Well, actually, you do have to say something to make sure that works. Okay, so here's what I'm doing. We now have instructions. Something's off with the syntax. How does this match up? Roll. We need another one of these, and we need this. A close. Nope, no, that was over here. So this closes this. And then I think we need one more roll here. A comma. Okay. Yeah, we're getting pretty goddamn nested here. That's just how it's going to be. Okay. So what's going to happen? Split the transcript into meaningful parts by topic, while keeping timestamps accurate. Here is the full text, and the timestamped text is attached. Okay, and now I'm going to do dot the times the plain text. Okay, does that all make sense so far? Let's go back, refresh. Getting an error, undefined variable, timestamp text with timestamps. That's why. Did not call it the right thing. That's fine. Save it and refresh. Okay. Click. Now it ran, but what did it do? Undefined array key choices. Okay, so the data that got back was maybe not in the format expected. So let's see what the actual format is. Okay, click it, split. Okay, we got an error. This model's maximum content length is 8,192 tokens. So this hasn't really changed much, huh? Your message resulted in 15,000 tokens. Let me just give this error to our good friend here, ChatGPT, and see what they recommend here. Content link. Okay, so I want to be able to send long things. I just do. So no, I don't want to do this. So what are my other options? I'm going to try and stop it here in the middle of talking. Can any of the other models have a larger context? All right. Who knows the answer to this question besides ChatGPT? See, this feels like old information. But I guess let's try this turbo one. I guess I could just look this up online, but I kind of want ChatGPT to answer this for me. We'll try this over here. Okay. Refresh. Let's see what we get. Okay, we get another error. The model does not exist. Okay. ChatGPT, what have you done to me? Okay, so OpenAI, models, large context. Models, OpenAI. I need it for the API. So is this going to be for the API here? Oh, God, I don't want to do some expensive one either, though. I just need, okay, I haven't tried this one. Can I just do 4.0? Let's try it. Let's just see if I do GPT 4.0. Does that just work out of the box? That'd be nice. Okay. Click it. Oh, it's doing something. Pending. See this? Pending instead of an error. That's a good sign. Oh, there's a 500, but that's good. This is our DD. Yeah, look at this. Okay, content. Look at that. It seems to be doing the thing that I was hoping it would do. Now, the question is, can it get the times correct? So instead of DDing this, I am going to DD the data here. Actually, maybe I won't. Maybe I will still DD this. But, I set these to be gets. So let's just do a get up here. Snippets to split. Okay. So instead of going through the network tab and going through HTMX, we're going to try to get this right just in here. We don't need to see all this stuff yet. Okay, so what's it doing? Choices. 1. Index message. Finish reason message is probably where the data is. Role assistant content. Okay, so it split it into part 1, part 2, and I feel like it should have more parts. Let's see, part 1, part 2. Yeah, okay, so I'm just gonna paste. Okay, so I used ChatGPT 4.0. So let's go over here. And I used GPT 4.0, which worked for larger contexts. But the problem is, it didn't seem to get all of it on the response. Okay, first of all, let me check my code here. Max tokens 200. That might be it. It might just be returning too small. Let's find out. We're going to go back here. We're going to refresh, have it do it again. Okay, it's taking a little while. This might be a good thing. So before, it only had 2 parts, and they were only 42 seconds in. This is a 5-minute video, so this is taking longer, which I think is a good sign. But let's see what it says here. my hope is that it's going to. I'm trying to figure out what the best way. Oh, damn! Did it take too long? Maybe 2,000. Let's do 1,000 here. I'm not quite sure how these tokens are exactly working. I know that you can have kind of a lot of tokens when you're doing, I don't know, Chat GPT, and like it can return a bunch of data. So I feel like that shouldn't be the issue here, but we're going to see what's going on here. Okay, so still taking a long time. I feel like it shouldn't take that long. Okay, good. It returned. So choices, we just did one choice. That's fine. Message, array of 4. Okay, here we go. Now it goes all the way to the end. All right, this is good. This is very good. So let's take a look at the specifics. Now, the big question here is like, is it good enough to actually split this into, meaningful parts that make sense? Now, what I need to do is split these sections that it decided out into their own snippets. Now, this data is like possibly inconsistent in how it returns it, which is not great. So I probably need to let me do a quick copy of this, or I want to ask ChatGPT how we would do this. Okay, so given this response, how would I formalize the response format to return reliable JSON or array format? Okay, an explicit JSON instruction. So as you can see, I haven't used this JSON, this OpenAI API a ton, but this is good. Response format JSON. Max tokens 8,000. Oh, they're going up, huh? All right. All right. Okay. Response format JSON. What else am I missing here? Data is response JSON, DD data. It should return a structured JSON object like this. Okay, let's see if that's true. Go back to our page and refresh. All right, so what do we want it to do? What do we expect it to do? Before, we're just getting this content. It's all just text. And it looks like it actually has the data. I haven't, we've got to verify as we get farther along whether it's actually correct or not. But it's doing the summary. Okay, so let's see what it did now. Choices. Message. Okay, role content. This looks the same. Is it the same? Okay, I'll just get the content. It didn't return a segments array. Okay. Maybe I need to update this. Oh, I see. Okay, there was an additional step here. Yes. Okay. Split the following. Okay, I missed some of the steps here where it said like you should be telling it always return a valid JSON array. Okay. Split the following to meaningful parts by topic. Okay. I'm going to make these single quotes. All right. And content. Fields. Split into meaningful parts by topic. Here's the full text attached. Okay, role, you are an AI, so I need to change the role a little bit too. That's fine. You are an AI, that's okay. All right, let's see if that works. So what we want is, oh, we got an error right away. What's our error? Invalid type for response, expected an object, but got a string instead. Okay, that all happened too quickly, which makes me think, okay, so maybe I didn't format something here correctly. JSON encode. So all looks fine. Response format JSON. Okay, instruction. Maybe some of these like invalid type for response format, accepted an object. So where is response format? JSON. Okay, so why didn't it like that? Let's see. We're gonna have our okay, so it's the error occurs because the response format is not a valid one. So I was using it before. Okay, let's see if I just get rid of this, does it need this? Maybe it's already returning that. Let's refresh. Okay, and it's taken a long time, which is good. Okay, good. So the choices are back. Message. Okay, good. We have a JSON array. That is good for us. Timestamp, 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 timestamp. Okay, I like this. I like this a lot. So let's take our JSON array, and we need to show this somehow, or maybe save each as a snippet right away. Okay, so we did a DD on the data, but we need to do a DD on choices, 0, message, content. So choices, 0, message, content. That's already what we got. Let's just do it again. I'm hitting up the API a bunch of times here, but that's okay. This is an experiment, so we need to learn how to do this, figure out how the API works, how we split it up. So now we should get just the JSON, but it's not actually going to be, I need to be able to convert it into, into an actual array that I can use here. Okay, so let's ask how to convert this. How do we convert this to a PHP array? JSON string. Okay, so we have our string. Check for errors. JSON decode. Okay, the problem is, how do we extract? We need to extract by the do, right? Yeah, extract JSON. Okay, we have our text. Trim. Okay, this is what we're going to do here. Okay. So where are we at now with it? Right now we have this So we need to get rid of string replace JSON, right? So we're getting rid of this to blank. And actually, we're going to get rid of a few things. We're going to get rid of that. And we're going to get rid of just this. Okay. And we're going to replace them both with blank. And we get the split text. So that will get rid of our ends. And then I think at that point, we might have a JSON array. And let's see what ChatGPT told us to do with that. Preg replace, yes, we're doing this. Remove the opening, remove the closing, JSON decode. Okay, so yeah, that's what I need to do here. JSON decode. There we go. And let's see what we get now. So what do we need to do? Equals. So the split array equals JSON decode, JSON string equals, well, let's see what we get with our split array. All right, hopefully this will be a PHP array now, instead of like a bunch of strings. We will see. Give it a minute. Give it a minute. I mean, this is going pretty well so far. We're getting the timestamps, it looks like. We haven't accurately assessed whether the timestamps are correct. Okay, look at this. We have our array, timestamp, title. This is perfect. Okay. Okay. So now we need to put each of these into our snippet, or underneath our snippet, I guess you would say. Okay, but first we're going to save each of these as their own snippets. Okay. You'll see what I'm talking about here. So we need to, for each of our split R, as, and what's the format here? Okay, each one is just, each one is a segment, we'll call it. For each segment, we are going to say snippet, new snippet equals snippet. We'll just do new snippet. Okay. Now, first thing we're going to do, we know that the parent of this new segment, this new piece, is the snippet that we've been working with, right? So now, new snippet. Now, what do we need to do here? We need to do the text. Actually, you know what? First, before I do this, before I create the new snippet here, I'm just going to comment this out. We are going to save, I set up over here a sections text, and I believe that's even also an array. Yep, sections is an array. So we're just going to put this into here. Yeah, okay, this is the first step here. We are going to put our snippet sections equals this array. And now we're going to save it. And now we're just going to redraw that screen. So now in our screen, we need to actually show the different sections. So let's do a new div down here. So we already have flex on. Let's turn flex off. No. Yeah, let's turn flex off here. We're gonna stack two here. So the first one we're gonna stack is what's already there. Okay. Down here, we're gonna push this. Now we're gonna stack underneath that. This is gonna be our new snippets, our new segments, our new sections, whatever you want to call them. So in here, we'll do for each snippet sections as section, and for each. And we're going to do, let's see, what do we want to show here for each one? Let's start by just showing, so what are our options here? Timestamp, title. Yeah, that's all we need, timestamp, title. So we'll do section, timestamp. And then over here, section at title. Okay. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. And we'll hit return. And what do we have here? Is this going to work? Okay. Not yet, because we haven't done anything yet. We have not saved these yet. So that's all going to happen right here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to our main page where it shows them all. For each must be a type of array. Which one? Where is that happening? That's in our snippets.blade. Let's just give it a quick if. So if the snippet has sections, then we should do it, right? That makes sense. Now, right now, none of them are going to have it because we have not run that code yet. We have not successfully run it yet. So refresh. We're back to here. Split into snippets. So what this should do is, I'm going to go back to my other screen here. All right. So what this should do is, when you click split into snippets, it should go to OpenAI, have the AI figure out logically what the different snippets should be. It's using HTMX to go and make that GET request. It's going to fill this back in, and it should now have underneath just some like plain text saying what the different snippets are. Let's see if it works. I guess I'll open the network tab. Or I'll just click it, and then if it doesn't work, then I'll open the network tab. Yeah, let me bring you back here. Okay, so we open up the network tab here to see if it's doing anything. Let's click on this. We'll click on this one here. Boom. All right, status, pending. Suspense. I like the suspense. Oh, okay, look at this. So I clicked this one, but I'd already clicked this one up here. And it just took a while, but it did it. And, this is not going to be like the web page experience of, taking forever. This is like we only generate this once. And look at this. 198, introduction, 44 seconds, 87 seconds, the solution, Primer's minimalist approach, audience reaction, the impact of Primer, future developments, Jordan Walk and React. This is all accurate. This is correct. So this is good. This is working. Now, wouldn't it be kind of cool to be able to play the audio for these, right? That sounds like a good thing. I think that would be kind of nice. And maybe that's the next thing, because what I want to do is I want to verify that these timings are correct. And you can see there, so it actually is pretty similar where it sort of chose to make these splits. Maybe not similar enough. I want it to be pretty reliable. But this is a good start here. Okay, so let me just clean it up a little bit here. because we got like, this page is kind of, it's looking pretty messy here. But I do want, so these are just the sections right now. Let's make the sections look a little better here. Class equals padding, P2, M2, and let's give it a BG white and a rounded. So what are these sections going to look like here? Okay, let's give a text small. Okay, let's give, let's make some changes here. We'll say like this is the loop iteration. This is just like adding the number here. And then we'll do like a little BR after this so that it starts a new line here. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, and let's do our text extra small here. And let's do text gray, what, like 300, 400. Okay. Maybe we want the top part to be a little different here. So span class equals text. This is like, this could be where the link is, I suppose. So let's do like, for now, just like 500. Let's see what that looks like. I'll do 400, keep it light. Okay. And we'll make this a div instead of a span so we don't get rid of this BR. We don't really need it anyway. Okay, and then we have our section title. Let's see what we're looking like. Yeah, okay. I don't think we need these numbers, actually. I thought that would look cool, but I don't think we need them. Save that. Okay, so we have taken our timestamps. We need to verify if this is working. And I don't know the answer to that yet. So we need to make a play button that will play our snippets here. We know what the file is, so let's start by making the file work here. I'm going to lean, since we're at over an hour here, I'm going to lean pretty heavily into ChatGPT to make this play button work. So just bear with me here. Let's actually start by getting a nice play button. Heroicons play. Okay. Yeah, this is the nice one. We'll do this one. No, does it look like a play button? I don't know. Play pause is kind of cool. Let's do the play pause. Let's think ahead and do the play pause here. Okay, so each section, we're going to put this little play pause up at the top of it. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, it's too big. We want to keep these in line. So let's make this flex. Okay, and item center. Okay, and let's make this smaller, size 4, margin right 8. Margin right 2. Okay, we have a little play button. It tells you the time that it's going to play. So how do we make that play button work? That is where I'm saying I'm going to lean into ChatGPT here. So let's go and make this play button start an M4A or MP3 file at the timestamp. Okay. I mean, I sort of know how to do this, but this is one of those times where I'm going to try to make it just nice and quick here. So we're going to do the audio player here. Let's just see how this works. We'll keep this hidden. I'm going to let it finish what it's doing. Okay, so here's all the JavaScript for it. So we'll copy that first over. JavaScript for the play button. We will put that into the full welcome page down here at the end of the body. And now we're basically just vibe coding at this point. I actually hate that term, but what are you going to do? Let's just make sure it makes sense. On the play button, click, get the data timestamp. Yeah. That's all fine. Let's make sure that we're setting these correctly. So we'll give our button the class play button. That's going to have in it the timestamp right there. That's fine. That's fine. And I gotta copy this. This is a pain in the ass to copy. There we go. Okay. And let's go to our snippet here. Save this. Let's just see what it came up with here. Okay, it's taking a while to load. This is Tailwind again. I don't know why the play CDN for Tailwind is going so slow. It actually doesn't usually, it's not usually like this. It's usually quite a bit faster. But okay, so now if we hit play, let's open our inspect here. Console, failed to load. Oh, we haven't put the MP3 in place. So it might even be trying to do it, but we have not given it an MP3. So I got to find where to put that. Where's the right place? I think I set these to be private by default. So let's see where it's looking right now. Get element. We need to find where our MP3 is loading. Okay, asset audio example. So let's put this, let's just give this a hard-coded one. Let's say audio, and we'll call it hypermedia-wars dot, what did I call this back then here? hypermedia-wars.m4a. M4a. Okay. Now I got to create that file. So that's fine. And we can do a copy. So copy from storage app audio. What did I call it? Private audio. Actually, I'm just going to copy the full folder. So -r. We're going to copy that folder to our public, and that's it. So now, let's check in our app, our public folder, public/audio. We have our hypermedia-wars.m4a. We are referencing our hypermedia-wars.m4a. I am going to save that now, and let's go back and refresh our page. Check for errors. Give it a second. Let's see. I wonder if I can pull in an older version of It's this Tailwind. It must be this Tailwind 4. Yeah, I don't want 4. Tailwind 3 here. Docs. Getting started with Tailwind 3. Play CDN. Oh, God, it's giving the 4 again. Okay. It's just so slow for some reason. Okay. Let's see if I hit play.
His solution to a major problem.
All right.
Facebook's web pages are loading too slowly.
All right,
Back in 2006, page loads took less than 100 million. His solution to a major problem. Facebook's web pages are loading
So the reason I'm asking is I can hear it.
Back in 2006, page loads took less than 100 milliseconds. By 2008, it had climbed to just under 1 second. But by June 2009, with a user base of over 100 million, load times have ballooned dramatically to nearly 5 seconds. The code base has grown with the users, and particularly the JavaScript code. McKinsey, along with his colleague Tom Ochino, has been asked to lead a mission dedicated to dramatically speeding up Facebook, his solution to a major problem.
Just refresh the page here until I can get it. Okay, so it kind of just like one-shotted that with it's louder than your voice. Okay. Good to know. So that came out cross loud. That'll be fun to see in the video, but that's working. So what do we got now? We have well, let me make sure that's working. So this should be the end of it.
Yet unknown to McKinsey back in Palo Alto, another eager young engineer has recently joined Facebook.
The part that I wanted to do, so I don't know how to stop that. But we now are splitting it up into these different snippets. So the purpose of this in general, as I mentioned in the beginning, is that I want to edit podcasts. And I record these like, hour and a half, 2-hour podcasts. Editing is a nightmare. I don't enjoy doing it. This, where I just put it into the AI, it decides what the sections are. If I like them, the next phase of this, right now we've got it split. The next phase of this is going to be able to export. Click a button. Let me add the export button right now, just so that it's like clear what's happening next. So let's see, where are my snippets here? Split into snippets. Down here, and I'll just do the same kind of button that we used before to split it. Okay. Down here, we are going to, I want to make this smaller too. Export. And I don't need any of this stuff because I'm not going to make it work right now. I think we're good for now. I think this is, I achieved the first, we made the connection with OpenAI, and we have split it up, and the timestamp is accurate. That's the most important thing. The timestamp matches what the snippet is. That means that as we go forward, I will be able to, put in these big files and look through and make sure they're correct. We're going to have to add some stuff like whether or not you can... Well, actually, I'll add a couple other things in here. Let me just make sure this export button thing works. Okay, looks terrible. Let's make that like a PX3, PY2. Make it gray. Okay, just a little export button. No, this needs to have its own little div here, because we're going to do a couple actions you can do here. So we'll put the actions into their own thing. Okay, do a flex. Export, delete. Do these get their own split? I don't know yet. I'm not going to solve that right now. We're going to keep we're going to do the background white. Text red 400, rounded full. That's fine. Okay. And I kind of don't remember how to do the move stuff at the bottom. Like, I'd like to have these little things down at the bottom here, but that's okay. So what I'll do is I'll just make this whole section above H100. Let's see what that is. Nope, it's not the right one. So I guess I need to put this into an H100. Just so that they all look the same. That's all I want here. And 100 was obviously way too big. But let's do like H24. Okay. Now we have our snippets divided up. We can export each of them. You know, it is pretty bare bones, but we've done some of the hardest part of the work. A lot of this is going to be cleaning it up, figuring out, you know, let's say we want to add intro music to each one of these little snippets. These snippets could also be, you know, right now I'm thinking of them as full episodes. We could further split. So the goal of this is that once we have a snippet, we can then take that out and split that into parts. And then you can have like, you know, snippets that are shareable on social media, do like a little 30 seconds, you know, audio snippet. This also, there's no reason this cannot apply to video. We're just dealing with the text right now. But when you hit export, if it's a video, it'll just export a little snippet of the video. So this is, you know, personal project to make my life easier. I hope that you have enjoyed watching it. So the tools we've used here, we used a little bit of HTMX. We used Whisper AI to split this up. We've used the OpenAI, and we used ChatGPT to just like draw us a play button. So that's pretty much it. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for joining and watching if you're watching it later. And I will probably be streaming next week too. So tune in. And next time I am going to insist that somebody calls so that I can test the audio. That's the main thing. I want to make sure the audio works here. And then we'll, you know, we can do more call-in for fun stuff as it goes. All right. I'm